Hey guys, here aka Gene. So if you're watching this video right now and you're really into racing, I'm sure you guys will enjoy this video. If you guys are not into racing, then I'm sure you won't enjoy this video. But regardless, I'm here to post to you one of the most epic races that I've ever had on GTA 5. This is pretty much GTA 5 racing at its very best. You know, clean racing, epic battles, and this pretty much was my longest battle ever when it came to attacking and defending against one particular player. And this player was our best hot lapper in the crew, and I had to defend against him for 3 laps long. And you're probably thinking, wait, 3 laps only? Wait, no, this track was the longest track that we've ever done, actually. Created by Bruffy himself. 1 lap is about 8 miles long. Alright, on average, a lap takes about 5 minutes with a Super or a sports car, which is absolutely ridiculous. The best times you can get with this Super on this, I believe, it's about 4 minute 54, 4 minute 55. So it's absolutely ridiculous. So I thoroughly enjoy this. You know, as I said, this is why we race. GTA 5 is amazing for racing. If you get the right set of players, if you get battles like this, then it's perfect. Everybody's satisfied. And regardless if you lose or win, the true beauty of clean racing can still be done on GTA 5. And it does require quite a bit of reactions, you know, anticipation of player movement, when to overtake, when to take the right lines, this and that, when to brake and when to let the player overtake for you to then do another overtake right after his overtake. You will see every single one of these things I just mentioned in this particular race. So it is a 15-minute long video, but I'm sure you won't be disappointed, sorry. You'll be seeing quite a few battles here. So I'm going to sort of explain to you guys what's going on right now in the situation. So right now in front of me is the host of the playlist. His name is Perlic. He's another great racer in our crew. Unfortunately, it was lagging a lot in front of me. So if this is a situation you get into in contact racing, the best you can do is just be patient and wait for the right time to overtake. But it's very difficult. I just suggest ease of your throttle. But you know, once I reacted to his braking point, the person behind me did not react to my braking point. So I got taken out on the rear, and Perlic then had a easy sort of gap to go ahead and just keep going, and the gap pretty much was increased at this point. So I was kind of frustrated, I suppose. But at this point you're probably thinking, where the hell is Picano at? You know, where's this battle? This is just the first lap. Remember, 8 miles long out of the 3 laps. Now, the insane battle occurred from the 2nd lap and onwards, and that was about 10 minutes straight. Now what you'll notice is that Picano is right behind Murphos, and Murphos is the one that took me out. But it's all good though, it's clean racing, so obviously Murphos allowed me to go through. So it's all good, you know, this shit like this is bound to happen regardless who you're racing with or what sort of skill level. With similar skill level, people don't react, and that's what happens. But anyway, my obviously intention right now and my priority is now to attack Perlic, because that's the only thing I got to do. So I gotta switch on my hot lapping mindset and just go for it. And as I said, my biggest skill that I have in this game is to keep pushing every corner and make sure I'm going at a pacey rate. You know, I don't want to ease off the throttle at any given point. I want to take risk, and pretty much taking risk is the only way you're going to be able to attack easily at a very quick pace without taking your time. Now, I didn't know Picano was behind us at this point in this race. I had no regards to him whatsoever at this point. As I said, I was keeping an eye on Perlic right now. He's got a comfortable lead. I need to make sure I'm challenging him. Now, this part of the track is the most trickiest part. It's got slight little bumpy bits on it with curvy bends, and you can take some awesome lines to actually make the best use out of that with such a pacey high speed. And you can see that I made the most out of it compared to Perlic, and I managed to close the gap out right here. Slightly went wide here, so I lost a bit of speed. And sometimes even I personally get frustrated when I take the wrong lines, because I know when I'm doing something well, but then at the same time I get carried away with the momentum, it can just go bad all of a sudden, because you just lose the momentum again with just the wrong lines you take and you go wide. So that can get frustrating, but regardless, you gotta still keep going, you gotta still applying pressure. The whole point is, if the gap is like this right now, that's fine. You know, if you keep this going for the next 2 laps, you're basically applying so much pressure on the person in front that they can choke at any given point. They can make mistakes as well with their lines. What you saw there, I made another mistake just when I closed up the gap. The gap increased furthermore just because I took a very bad line. I went into the dirt, into the bushes. That can completely slow you down. However, on that corner right there, that was just beautiful. Kissed the apex, closed the gap out again, And what you notice, one thing you gotta really pay attention to, is the braking point. A lot of people, right, here's the problem with a lot of people. I made a lot of these mistakes as well in the past, and that is just paying attention to the car at the front. That's a mistake that a lot of people make, and that's something you should not be doing. Yes, of course, you gotta have somewhat of idea of where the car is positioned in front of you, but you should not be looking at the car in front of you when you're actually taking the corner, because what will happen is you will end up following their line, but you'll be going at a different rate of speed, and therefore what will happen to you, you'll quite often go wide around a corner. You lose a lot of speed because you think in your mind you're going to do the same thing as them, but you need to realize that your car is not in the same situation as them. And that's sort of the common mistake a lot of people make. You got to really pay attention to your car and where you're going to brake to benefit your car instead of their car, because if you pay attention to their car more, then of course you're just basically helping them out because you have no disregard regards to your car whatsoever. So it's all about making sure you find your right braking points. You don't want to brake too much around the corner, because especially when you're attacking, you want to keep pushing around these corners. So I did a pretty awesome overtake there, but I didn't realize at this point that Picano has already overtaken Perlick. Second lap right now, Picano's already on my ass, and that was insane because Picano literally just took him like that on one corner, whereas I had to pretty much battle it out throughout the entire lap to be able to overtake Perlick. But of course I had a slight little collision. Picano managed to take it safe. Now Picano tried to take the inside line, but I played it smart here because I knew he was prioritizing the inside line right there. I knew I can just use my brake, and he had to react to my brakes. Of course there was a slight little collision there, but of course that's to do with reactions. But I expected that and anticipated the situation really well. A slight hesitation there, nearly went wide into the bridge, and I thought I was going to crash, but just because of the slight little nudge that I got with the car's sort of momentum, I was able to shift it inwards. That was a close score as well towards the tyre. I was so close, I literally kissed it, and that could have been an easy choke point. It could have caused a massive chain collision if I did clip there. Quite often tyre lines do cause a lot of collisions. If a person in front touches it, the car will pretty much turn 180 or 90 degrees onto the track, and everyone else coming behind that person will not be able to react, and bang, there is a collision. But that's the beauty of contact racing. Shit like that cannot be scripted. It all comes down to just, as I said, the true beauty of racing. Really got to react to these situations. Now anyway, here's the beauty of the best hot lap in the sort of the crew right now. I knew the only way I can defend against Picano is if I attack myself, because if I play defensive, like actual defensive where I'm just taking it safe around corners, just blocking off all the inside lines, then I knew I would not have a chance against Picano, because he would be right up my asshole and it would have hurt, because obviously he's applying a lot of pressure and attacking for him is easy. And knowing that, obviously, as I said, being the best hot lapper, that applied extra pressure to me. So what do you do in a situation when you know that it's such a long track, 8 miles long, and there's another 2 more laps to go, halfway through the second lap right now? Remember, I got another lap to go. Picano's right there, pretty much. What I'm doing right now is prioritizing on this gap right now that I see in the minimap. What I do also is keep paying attention to the minimap on the bottom left and keeping aware of the gap that there is at this very moment. I wanted to make sure that I keep this gap there for the entire time, because if I let him come closer to me, I'm giving him extra momentum boost, extra confidence to come and attack me. Now if I keep this gap here, I'm applying pressure to him defensive wise, but this is the way I defend, is by attacking, like I've said time and time again. Now that's extremely difficult to do, and the only way to get this, learn this sort of method, is the hot lap every single track in the game, and actually practicing your braking points with your car on these tracks or on these roads basically. As I said time and time again, the best way to do this is free roaming. But anyway, here's the thing, we're approaching the final part of the second lap right now. The battle is still not over, it's still going on, because I know he's right by my arse, but I did a pretty good job on the second lap, just keeping the gap the way it is and slightly extending it near the end. Now this is where I make mistakes. Of course, keeping the consistency up is extremely difficult, but I still managed to kiss the apex on that very tight corner, which I had to get my braking point spot on, because if I did not get my braking point spot on, then Picano would have easily close the gap. I'm about to cough any second, but as you know, I've got bronchitis at the moment, but I'm trying to hang on right now. Oh my god, I nearly died earlier today on live stream. I swear I was coughing, my throat just blocked, and literally I couldn't breathe for 10 seconds straight. I don't know what I was, but anyway, at this point, we're approaching the final lap. Picano somehow managed to find a lot of speed. On the final section, I took it really slow, and now we let the battle, the most intense battle, begin, because this is where I had to switch on the defensive role. I could not attack any further, because if I attacked, I'm putting myself at risk. It's the final lap. I'm going to have to use some sort of racecraft here to actually defend and just stick with my lines and block off every inside line and prioritize that. Now here's the thing. Pay attention to the minimap. The gap seems pretty fine at the moment for me. I'm in a comfortable position at the moment, but he is still applying a lot of pressure. Alright, on your screen you may think I'm going very slowly, but this is so quick. Alright, I'm still having to force myself to push myself around these corners. But one thing you'll notice that Picano is still attacking, but yet again the gap increases and I'm still doing a pretty good job at it. Third lap, still managed to go consistently, but here's the problem. This is where I choke. Oversteered there, bang. One mistake by me, the gap will close, and this is where Picano is most dominant at. This downhill bit is very tricky. You gotta perfect your lines, and technically speaking it's gonna be easy for him because he's gonna use my mistakes with my car and perfect his lines. You see how now the gap has decreased and is literally just about to kiss my car. So this is where I've got a lot of pressure on my hands right now, because we're pretty much approaching the halfway marker of this track. Alright, but if you pay attention to my lines, what I'm doing, I'm always prioritizing the inside line for these corners. So I'm making sure I'm not opening up many gaps for him. I don't want to make it easy for him to overtake. And when you're defending, you want to make sure you're doing it right, because you don't just want to overtake someone that end up letting them overtake you again. You know, you got to really just keep switching on and off with what you're doing with attacking and defense. This bit, you got to sort of let go of your throw and angle it right, and really kiss the apex to get a lot of speed. And you see here, Picano is right there on my arse. Now at this point, I managed to get quite a bit of speed through that, so I was fortunate enough to still keep the gap going, but it's still there. He is still there, and we're approaching now the final section of the track. Now this is where shit goes down. This is where I had to make sure that I'm on top of my game. Alright, this is the beauty of racing right here, man, because it's just constant pressure every single time. I can't just relax. There's no comfortable lead for me at this moment. And you see right there, he's already there. He's on my arse, and at this point he's already inside of me right now. He's inside me good. He's inside me hard. He's pushed me and he's penetrated. But look, he's on two wheels. I saw he's vulnerable. What I did, alright, I anticipated that situation really well. What I did, I broke early, let him take the inside line, but then I can accelerate, shooting through that corner to get that speed. And I played that absolutely well, and it had to be perfect, because that was a maneuver that was intended purposely by me. It's not because he took the inside line and the fact that I had to let him through. It's because I anticipated the situation. I knew he's going to do that, so I had to position my car with the appropriate braking point to then overtake once he overtook. So I prepared myself for the upcoming situation, basically. So that's how you got to think in these situations. Now he's still there, he's on my arse. Just when I overtook, as I said, now it's time for me to once again switch on my defensive role, and that is, you can see, I'm pretty much sticking to the inside throughout the entire time. One thing you would also notice is that there was a point where I oversteered, but I cut inside to block his inside line because I prioritized that first. Because he was nowhere near me, he wasn't to the side of me, I had the right to do that. He was right behind me, but he did not have the extra speed and momentum to carry on and overtake. So obviously sticking to the rules of F1 defending right here, it's like if he was to have more speed on the inside line than me, I would have to give him priority and this and that. Now once again, that was a perfect cornering. If I got that wrong, then I probably would have been overtaken at this point. This is where I go slightly wrong. My braking point was really poor. I went wide, But then when he tried to take the inside line, he actually oversteered slightly, so he sort of momentum dragged him wide towards my car. So I was able to straighten out the corner quickly and get this extra speed, but it was still right on my ass on the finish line. But I just about managed to grab it, and it went down to the wire. And remember, this is 3 long laps, and that was absolutely epic. That battle right there, cannot get any better than that. So there you guys have it, an insane race between me and Picano and Perlick for the first bit of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This is the racing that I'd expect to see from a lot of us and people that generally race with us, and just other general battles that go on at different, different parts of the track, at the front and the middle, at the backpack. So once again, GTA 5 racing is beautiful if you do it right, with the right set of players and the right mindset, and the rule set is there for that comfortability and efficiency. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know if you guys want to see more content racing like this, if you find it useful, whatever. Feedback, criticism, definitely useful. I'll see you guys soon. Check your sign now. Good night, peace. Yeah. Hey guys, you here, as you guys know, I'm currently ill, so my content's been slacking recently, but hopefully that's alright. I'm trying to stick to one upload